All right, Ashley and Hannah, we are so excited to have both of you back today. Welcome, y'all, to the Bachelor Tea Party. I am Zuri Hall, so let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, Ashley, you made an appearance on last night's episode.
And everybody had to endure the awkwardness with me.
Yeah, tell us from like the first person perspective, what was it like on the ground during that group date?
It was really fun. I mean, that's the kind of group date that you want because you get to know about people's sense of humor. You get to know about their desires. You just can figure out somebody's personality by how they perform, how they write, and all that. So that's the kind of group date that I like. It was just as funny and awkward in real life, though. I can tell you that. It actually probably more.
Yeah. Hannah, what'd you think about it watching from home?
I was saying earlier, you looked amazing, by the way. I thought you looked great. And you were the perfect person to go into that date, I think, because it didn't click in my head that it was you reading it off right when they entered the room. And then I just forgot. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, how did I forget that, like, this is literally her reading it and you crushed it, like, with confidence. Like, I don't know. It was really good. I was actually trying to sit there and I was actually watching with Heather last night from my season, and Heather's just so just so innocent and sweet. And she was like, Hannah, I would have died. I don't know what I would have said on that day. And so we were like talking about stuff and I was like, that's fabulous.
Seriously, I was like, I'm so lucky that I had to like read from a script, from Chris Harrison's novel. These girls had to write their own desires and then read them. I just had to detach myself from my read. I was like, I am an actress. I am acting.
Yes.
This is not me.
You literally have to, but you did it with confidence, and that's all you can do at that point if you're reading off like sexual sentences. Like you literally have to disconnect.
Yeah.
What did you two think of Victoria's wild story? Because it seemed like online a lot of Bachelor Nation was just shook, period, on the theme of the group date.
Well, does anybody have an idea what the theme was with her story particularly? Because I know, but I can't say. Like, they bleeped it out for a reason. It is not ABC friendly.
So I tried to kind of gather with all the bleeps what she was talking about. It was pretty like bleepy, I guess, But I will say, if she would have done anything less, it would have not been on brand. I feel like it was very on brand when she ended it with what did she say with the queen comment?
And then he yelled, "Yes, queen."
Yes, queen. I was like, okay, like she literally had to do it, and I give it to her. She was very on brand.
Yes.
Little inside scoop. Katie was just as bold, just as explicit, but you guys didn't get to see that. She straight up dry humped Matt on that stage.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Well, sorry.
Okay, well, switching gears, Serena and Matt had their one-on-one date. What did you two think of their chemistry together? I was on the fence for the first half of it, but then the kiss, I was kind of getting into it by the end.
So for me, when she came up on the screen, I was like, okay, everything's going to be okay. Like, she was just very like positive. I don't know about her and her connection with Matt necessarily, but she was like a breath of fresh air watching, because there had been just so much like, cattiness and kind of stuff. And she was like, okay, I'm going to go on my date and have fun. Like, just super positive, good vibes. I feel like Matt recognized that. He just has a lot of like fairly, I feel like, deep like connections with a lot of women this season, which I feel like we don't see a lot like this soon. Does that make sense? So I wasn't sure where she stood in all of those different connections.
Do you feel like he has a lot of deep connections with everyone, or is he just so nice that he's really good at letting everyone feel like there's maybe more there until he, that's how
we could have a case of that as well. Like, he's not like, I like that he's not a robot. And so I think for me, I'm like, oh, he's connecting with people,
Right.
But he might not be at all.
That's so true. He does, like, there's like a lot of heart in every conversation that he has. I also have to tell you guys that his chemistry with Rachel on that date was just a whole other level than everybody else. Like you felt it. There was a reason she got that group date. There was no doubt in my mind she was gonna get the group date. The way that he looked at her was, but then, sorry, to go back to Serena, I also agree with you, Zuri. I didn't really feel a lot there. Like, I don't think she's gonna get super far. She's a girl who has a nice date and then gets eliminated in the 8 territory.
Yeah. That's kind of what I felt. I thought they looked beautiful together and they were pleasant, but I just think he has deeper connections with other women right now. And I don't know if that's enough to sustain, unless, who knows, maybe she, catches up later.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I did like watching her on my TV screen, but the connection thing, I'm
gorgeous.
not sure.
She's absolutely stunning. Like, when I was just looking at them, I'm like, say less, the babies will be beautiful. Like this, they're a gorgeous couple. I just, energetically, maybe I had some other favorites. Okay, let's go ahead and get to our throwing shade segment, where we break down the shadiest moments of the night.
I'm not going to speak for the group, but I do not accept your apology, even if you say it 20 more times.
I hope that your connection with Matt is very strong right now, because the rest of your living situation here is going to be horrible.
So we'll start off with the fact that Sarah was definitely in her feelings last night after the group date. So what were your thoughts about how she kind of handled that? Obviously, she crashed it, didn't make any friends in that moment. What did you guys think about her kind of swooping in to talk to Matt?
Well, she obviously didn't make the right moves as far as interrupting a group date that wasn't hers. She made a lot of mistakes. That includes her like not being social as part of the group the following day. But overall, I just feel like the girls completely overreacted. They piled on her. There was like no grace. They didn't even want to hear what she had to say. Twice. There was like 2 times where she tried to explain herself and apologize, and they were just not having it. They were saying horrible things like, you better have a great connection with Matt because your life in this house is going to be horrible. It was just like such extreme bullying for something that really wasn't a huge deal, and something that is actually so common on The Bachelor. Like, when is there a group date that isn't interrupted? And the girls handled it super poorly, and my heart went out to Sarah. Not saying that she played the game right. She certainly didn't, but like the fact that we knew as the audience that she was going through what she is at home, we had another sense of empathy for her.
Yeah. I was, when I was rewatching it or watching it back or whatever, I was like, as soon as they were like yelling at her, and I felt like mean girling her a little, like there was a lot of like tension, which I get, like, absolutely. She knew she was signing up for that, but she had already owned up to it. I was like, okay, that's enough. Like, whenever, and then I kept hearing all these like negative things like thrown at her, and there was exactly no grace. It was just very much like, I don't know. I feel like The Bachelor emphasized so much last year, the year before, like, this is like an anti-bully community and stuff. And like, I get expressing yourself. If you're angry, go for it. It is a TV show. But it got to the point where it was like, your life is basically going to be a living hell if you stay, like insinuating that like she can't stay, or like it was just a lot, and it felt uncomfortable. I even posted a small story being like, is it just me, or are these girls kind of tripping a little? Like, I posted that. And
how did people
thousands
react?
and thousands of people saying, oh my gosh, like, it was ridiculous. These girls are ruthless, like all this stuff. And I wasn't trying to create hate, but like, people also recognized that it was just like,
that's good.
It was a lot. It was just a lot for me.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the idea of being frustrated and someone not playing by the rules, even though, to your point, Ashley, that is like quintessential group date like moment. But I did feel bad for her. And it is because obviously we knew more than a lot of the girls did at that time, what she was going through. And then I also felt bad because I'd be pissed, honestly, if I was the one who was waiting while she's just like hanging out one-on-one with Matt on the couch, and that's supposed to be my time. So like, I don't want to take away from that. I'd be upset too. But knowing what she's going through, knowing that she already has difficulty opening up, when she came and tried to talk to the girls and they were like, well, you're still not saying anything. Well, we still don't get it. Well, and I felt so bad because I'm like, if you're already not the most open person emotionally, and you're trying to essentially go into the lion's den to explain yourself, and you've got your father in the back of your head, and you genuinely don't know how long this man has to live. Like, her headspace understandably wouldn't be fully in the house or how to get these girls to like her. So I didn't like that moment. It made me feel a little sad for her.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for Katie's little talk with her. It was a great way to start her exit process. I mean, Katie seems that she has a good heart.
Yeah.
She was, she listened to her, and to be able to relate to her on the father stuff also was nice. Yeah.
She obviously ended up leaving. Do you think that was the right choice?
Heck yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. I feel like she would look back if she didn't and regret the time that she didn't spend with her dad. And I just think that because of the place that her family's at, she just wasn't in the emotional headspace to be able to like withstand a process like The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Something I like that she said, she was like, or it was like when she was driving away, she was like, I'm not the best Sarah right now, and Matt deserves the best Sarah right now. And I was like, I like how she worded that. Like, that's like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that, like, it makes a lot of sense for her to go home if she's not ready for this,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Matches was so great in handling her decision to leave too. I'll be praying for you and thinking about you and your family. And like the guy one day who ends up with you is going to be so lucky. He just like keeps proving that he is one of the most fantastic bachelors.
Yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and close things off with a round of roses or thorns. First up, Matt sending Marilyn home instead of Victoria. 1, 2, 3.
Thorn, but at the same time, I understand that like for entertainment's value, we needed to keep Victoria around for a while. What I thought was super weird was that the rose ceremony happened, Marilyn left. All the girls before the rose ceremony were like outraged at what was going on. But then she leaves, and then we saw nothing. It was just, Marilyn's gone.
There she goes.
Here. We'll just go about our life. I don't know. It was weird. I was expecting some more drama towards Victoria after that rose ceremony.
Victoria brings the drama. She's working overtime on this show. Like, she's working a lot on this show to keep the drama going, keeping it interesting, whatever. So for that purpose, Rose, but Thorn, because she obviously just is there to create drama and not to build a connection. Right. But
that would be a thorny rose.
A thorny rose. I think we both kind of give thorny roses.
Yes.
What is so interesting is that like this episode particularly, she was actually fun to hate. She had that more glimmer in her eyes. She was kind of laughing at herself, being way more self-aware, which made her the kind of villain that we're used to seeing, not the actual just like, oh my God, this girl is insanely annoying style.
Yes.
For the past 2 weeks.
I agree.
All right. Next up, Rachel getting the group date rose.
Rose.
Just, I wish you guys could have seen like what I saw. I mean, you saw it. You saw it when they sat down during the group date and he leaned into her and said like, I couldn't wait any longer before that kiss. Matt has this great thing about his eyes when he wants to kiss someone. It's just like, I'm ready.
They start to smile.
He also has a great thing when he is kissing somebody. He's staring at them.
Yeah.
Not only before the kiss, but during the kiss.
Poor guy.
So funny. That one part when I did make a quick comment last night when him and Serena were on their date. He like acted surprised that these donkeys were coming. And I was like, he absolutely knew these donkeys were coming like towards him. His eyes were open, like while they were kissing. She's like, oh my God,
he saw everything.
Like, oh. I'm like, he knew good and well these donkeys were walking up, like he's staring at them.
Lastly, the new girls arriving next week in the Super Teas.
Rose, sorry, no countdown there.
Yeah, I was
Rose
like, I'm
for us as an audience.
Rose.
I don't know how they haven't done this thus far in any of the seasons. This is so juicy. Yeah, let's bring it on for us. Feels so bad for the girls in the house.
Yeah, I would too. Oh God.
If they're not traveling across the world, let's, bring some girls. Let's bring them in, Like, I feel like that's how they're switching it up this year, and I'm pretty stoked.
All right, we'll see what happens next week. Ashley, Hannah, thank you so much. You guys don't forget, in the meantime, you can go to our Bachelor Tea Party Facebook page, and we will see you guys next week.
See ya.
Bye.